Station resident. Station resident. Station resident. You know. Hey, hey, hey. You guys, can you see me? I keep being on a delay. Okay, I think I got everything going now. I think we'll see in a second. Okay, yes, now it's working. Okay, thank goodness. Okay, so I am getting some things together. You guys, I'm doing something a little different today. I have a guest coming on, and so I am trying to get things together. Just pardon me for a second. You know, you guys know I don't usually, this isn't my norm. So I got to kind of play with some things for a second while we give him a chance to come on. But I wanted to kind of tell you guys kind of what we're doing tonight. Okay, so just hold on a second. Let me keep clearing up a couple of things and then I'll be ready. 1 second. It'll give people a chance to come on and get on here with us. Okay, so. All right, so I think you guys have figured out this is a little different tonight. So I am actually live and I am going to have a guest to come in tonight. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about this guest before he comes in, okay? So for everybody who's joining me for the first time, my name is Dr. Dawn, and you guys know you're at Discovering Your Inner Light. This is Mystical Monday. Mystical Monday happens every Monday, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's where we talk about all things spiritual and mystical, okay? And so tonight, we're going to be talking to an individual who I met actually through divine intervention and spiritual kind of a setup, so to speak. And just going through some of his journey over the past couple of months has been so rewarding and interesting that I thought it would be great for you guys to meet him tonight. So we're going to be talking about the concept of walk-in souls, okay? And so a walk-in soul is a soul that actually, well, I'll wait till he comes on, then we'll talk about kind of like the definition of it and what it is. But I think you're going to find it quite interesting because not a lot of people actually come forward and say, I'm a walk-in, me, let alone talking about it to the masses. And so he's still kind of trying to adjust to this whole walk-in thing, so to speak. And so we're catching him kind of during his assimilation process as he's continuing to transition into this human body, okay? And so I'm going to get moving because we got a late start because of all of my technical kind of things that I was doing. So let me see. He was just in here a second ago. I want you to come back. I saw you try to come into the room, but I was talking when you tried to come in. So I know you're listening. So let's see if you could try to enter the room again, sign on sign off and sign back on, and we'll bring you back in, pull you back in. His name is Michael Hutchinson, okay? And so I think you guys are going to, I call him Hutch. So I think you're going to enjoy Hutch whenever he gets on here. Let's see if he can, hello. I see you guys coming in. It's kind of good that it's taking me a little longer because I want to give time for people to come on who are in different time zones. Let's see, where did he go? He was just here. He was just here 1 second ago. Let's see. Let's see if he's coming back in or not. Where'd he go? Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming on. We are waiting for our guest while we wait for him to sign back on. He actually was trying to come in and I was talking to you guys and didn't let him in. So if he comes back, I will automatically stop talking and let him in. But until he comes in, just want to give, for those of you who are just signing on, I want to give you a little bit of background into what we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to be talking to Michael Hutchinson. I know him as Hutch. Hutch is an Ascension teacher. He has a chat on Telegram, and we're going to give out some of his information towards the end, where he teaches nightly sessions on different types of spiritual concepts, specifically focusing on ascension and to those who are stepping into their awakening or are already kind of going through their awakening and need kind of clarification and assistance on some of the things that are happening in their day-to-day lives. And so he does that, and he does it, I say, all night long. He starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and he'll just go and go and go and go. And so he usually will go to like 3 or 4 in the morning if you let him. I don't know how he has the stamina, but he does it. Someone in the chat says he's having problems signing on. So he's probably having problems like I did a few minutes ago. They say he's trying and he's having troubles. Okay. So I'm going to see if he could come on, but I'm going to give you, let's talk a little bit about walk-ins while we wait for him to join us. So used to be that when a walk-in is, the concept walk-in is when a soul, a human soul, actually exits the human body. And when I say a human soul, I mean a soul that's incarnated in a human. It leaves the human body so that another soul of the higher dimensions or higher dimensional realm can walk into the human body to assume that human's journey or experience on the planet Earth. And so walk-ins are usually rare because, look, most of us have to go through the incarnating process of the birthing process, right? We have to be born, we have to come through the portal, we have to go through the maturation process of childhood, adolescence, then going into adulthood. We have to go through all of those steps so that we can fulfill some of our karmic ties, learn some of our life lessons, get into our soul's journey. And so most of us, okay, hold on, he's coming in. So let me get him while he's here. You guys, I don't want to lose him this time. Let's see if I got him. I had him. So here's what happened. Hutch, if you're trying again, there were 2 names that came up for you, 2 Hutches. So I picked one, but I bet you were probably the other one. It looks like you tried to come in twice because I have 2 different ones for you. So look at how this is working. This chat is going to be good. So look at all these forces blocking this from happening, but it's going to happen. So you guys just hang in there, hang in there. So as I was saying, in a walk-in soul, it comes in and it kind of assumes the life that that incarnated human already had in place. So it doesn't have to go through the whole birthing process and the maturation process. It just comes right on in to assume its position, purpose, and mission without having to go through all the preliminary stuff. And so he says, I'm waiting for you to let me in. Oh, I don't have you in my waiting room. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, there you go. Okay, I got you. Okay, there you go. Yay, he made it. We got it.
I'm there. Can you hear me?
Woo-wee. Yeah, I got you. Got you.
Right.
We can hear, I can hear you pretty good.
Okay, great.
Oh, I said, now what is happening? We actually practiced this. We had it down, didn't we? Doesn't that always happen?
It does. It does.
You have it all. Now, everybody who's in the chat, can you guys see both of us? You guys let me know if you can see both of us. Let's make sure you guys are in as well.
Now my screen doesn't want to work, but I'm there.
Okay, let's see. Let's wait.
All right. Now,
okay,
you probably can't see me.
Huh? I can't see you, but I can hear you. You guys in the chat, tell me, can you see me and hear him? I'm gonna wait and see. Look, somebody said this is fascinating. We ain't even started yet. And he said it's fascinating. Fascinating that we trying to get these technical difficulties together.
Yeah,
they say they
I got my blue screen right here, my green screen rather, and I'm trying to let me make sure I can get this thing to work like I need it to work.
Okay,
here.
So okay, they say they can see me and they can see your name. See, I think, okay, they said, okay, now they can see me and you. So hold on, because I think this is a little bit of a delay. They got to catch up a little bit. Okay, they see you.
Okay, so you should be able to see me now, yeah? No?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay.
Let me make sure they got it.
One moment. Now you should be able to see me. We're good now. We're good now. It's going to change in a moment.
Yeah, it is. They said they can see me and hear you. Okay, yes, you guys got both of us.
You be coming in now.
Okay, they got us. Yeah. Woo-wee. This has been a lot.
What did I miss?
Well, okay, so here's what I was doing. I was basically telling them the background as it relates to a walk-in. So first, let me introduce you guys. Let's start back over with the introduction. Okay, for all of you who are just joining us or who've been with me since I logged on tonight, this is Michael Hutchinson. I refer to him as my ascension expert. He knows all things ascension. He's the ascension extraordinaire, I should say. I'm giving him what he won't accept yet because he hasn't stepped all the way into this thing that we're going to talk about tonight. So Hutch, as I call him, again, his name is Michael Hutchinson. I know him as Hutch. Hutch is not just the ascension expert, but he grew into that title. Wouldn't you say? He didn't just come out knowing all things about this planet and its evolution from the beginning of time to now to what's going on in the years to come. He kind of stepped into that. And he stepped into that, I would say, when he had the realization and awareness of who he is. And that who he is a walk-in soul. So I was explaining to the people in the audience that a walk-in soul is an incarnate or a soul that has stepped into an incarnated human body, okay, and allowed the existing soul to step out in some instances so that it can step in and assume the experience that that soul is having so that it can fulfill its mission without having to go through the birthing process or the maturation process, literally just coming in as an adult and picking up the baton and running with it. And so with this soul is aware of all of the previous experiences that this soul has had from childhood memories all the way up, including where that soul is now. And so I'm going to talk about two, and I'm going to see which one you feel most closely related to. So that's a walk-in soul. So then we also have where sometimes an incarnated soul doesn't want to leave. It wants to stay and share in the experience, so that when a walk-in soul comes in, the soul that's in the incarnated human doesn't leave. It stays, but it goes to the back and it kind of watches as the walk-in soul is living out this new purpose and mission. And so I've never said that to you before, Hutch. So I'm kind of putting you on the spot.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because that just came to me right now. So I'm thinking like, okay, it's got to be relevant for you to hear that at this point. But based on the description that I just gave you right now, which one do you feel more closely related to?
Both.
Oh, both. Oh, wait a
Yes,
minute. Wait,
yes.
wait. Okay, explain. Let me let you go ahead and explain that.
Okay. What I mean by both is when I'm not doing chat, I'm the walk out that didn't walk out. I'm me. Okay, the original, the OG. When I get into the let's say get into the now, I would just have a instant download where I may be guided to do some research or find out some information. It'll just come to me. And then as I start getting into the details, then it gets really, really deep. I'm able to grasp it a whole lot more, because normally, you know, my day-to-day life, I'm just me. And then I'll have, you and I have had a few conversations in that regard of my hot flashes, so to speak. I'm getting downloads all the time, constantly. And especially, you know, like when I'm on chat, I'll get into a flow and it's just coming. And I feel it. I feel that energy. And people were like, well, how do you know this? I just know. And it's great. I love it.
Yeah. Hutch, let me ask you something, because I'm seeing something on my screen, and this is a technical thing. So you guys in the audience, just hold on a second. So on my screen, I see both of us, but the people who are viewing this live, I'm looking at what they're seeing, and the screen is going back and forth as we talk. Do you know how I can put it where we can both be on the screen at the same time?
Yes. Let me go here for a second. Okay, up on the meeting settings.
Yeah.
The three dots.
Yeah.
Tap on the meeting settings.
Uh-huh.
And you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first 5 buttons should be green.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Because I'm only seeing myself when we go in between.
Okay.
So,
okay. I just wanted to make sure. Because it's still kind of.
now, on the left side, you'll see switch to gallery view.
Uh-huh.
Or switch to active speaker. Tap on that one right there. And then you'll be able to select how you want to view.
It's a little not work. Okay. So here, I'm gonna go back. I don't want to hold these people up because everybody's like all anxious and excited. So let me get them back. Okay. All right. So let me go back. I'm sorry, you guys. I was trying to make it easy because I see it's flipping back and forth to you guys. It's going back and forth. So we'll just keep doing that. Sorry, that may be a little annoying, but let's just work with it for now because I'm going to get into this. Okay. So look. So when you you say you feel as if you're both, as if you are still in your human body. You have like your original soul is kind of in the background watching, but as well as this new soul that has come in. So let me tell you what I see, because I met you a couple of months ago. And when I first met you, I knew who you were. I mean, I did, and I just assumed you did. That's why I never mentioned it until the opportunity presented itself and the light bulb kind of went off for you. And you were like, okay, this fits. And then you kind of went with it, and you were able to kind of look into it, so to speak, into what it is, and it resonated. So look, when walk-in souls usually consume a human body, usually we knew it to be when someone dies,
Right.
when the actual heart stops, when the spirit leaves the body and the person is considered dead, so to speak. But we're now finding that these souls are walking in during periods of like personal problems for the departing soul. Like in some instances, it's near-death experiences, or something that catapults you to a place where you feel as if you're near death. Now, was that the case for you, tracing it back? Now that you are aware of the whole walk-in concept, when do you think it happened for you?
I'd probably say maybe about not even 2 years ago. Now that you mentioned, I had taken my granddaughter to work one day. I was going to pick her up, and I was sitting in the car waiting for her to get off work. And I'm sitting there, and it felt like my body went in one direction, like it was like I stretched, and then I came back, and that was about the only one I can really cognize and make any sense out of, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a real strange feeling. It was like I was out of body. And, it's kind of like I'm sitting there, and then all of a sudden I'm like, feel like my body's doing like this, but I'm sitting here stationary. But it felt like my body was doing like that, and then it came back.
Okay, so look, when did that happen in comparison to when you became aware of what had happened? What was the time frame in between that?
That was August before last, and I didn't have any awareness of it at the time. And I wasn't even aware of it until you mentioned it. And Rob, one of my admins, he had mentioned it, because he was like, Mike, I know you for a long time. He's like, man, you just came out of nowhere with this knowledge and this information and everything. And I was like, I mean, I'm like, I've always been me.
Yeah, yeah.
I never knew. I didn't even know what a walk-in was until you mentioned it, and then it clicked. I was like, okay, that's why, I'm able to do and read this information and like dissect it, give it details, break it down in layman terms so that everybody can understand it.
That's right.
And that's that's a process. And I'm still I don't, it's kind of hard to explain. It's really hard to explain.
Yeah.
But it's great.
Well, here's the thing. So with that walk-in ability, when that soul comes in, the ability to have this cosmic awareness like skyrockets.
Yes.
It goes above and beyond what you could ever imagine. And like I said, I've only known you since November 2022. And from November till now, you have skyrocketed in terms of the information you've obtained, your connection to the planet as a whole, and relating what is happening in this everyday life in comparison to what historically, we'll use the word historically, we know about the earth and ascension and where we are and the timelines. Like, you have grasped and gotten a whole lot of concepts in just like December, January, February, March, in a 5-month span of time, in a 5-month period. You have knowledge in 5 months that I'm going to say my awakening was in 2008 to 2010, somewhere in there. The things you say now, I'm going, wow, I didn't know that, or I never looked at it like that, or, oh, that's what that means. So there's a new wave now. Would you agree? A new wave of activations happening to where this knowledge, some of it we know, but it's coming in with a new interpretation now based on these new frequencies, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like when we look into, or when we think about walk-in souls, it's not a scary concept. It's going to be a rather common concept in these years to come. Would you say? Absolutely.
Because I was just reading some information last night in our chat, and it's like somewhere around 170,000 walk-ins that came here right around 2000, right before 9/11. And the fact that that happened then, it was accelerated because of what was happening in the other dimension that we can't visually see in this 3D. And it was in waves. And it was like, I think it's like 12,000 in each wave. And it was over a real short period of time. Now, there's a lot of us that are walk-ins that haven't even woken up yet. And, yeah. So, and that's what's going to make a big difference. And it's just a matter of time when those other walk-ins start to come online, so to speak.
Yeah.
And that process that's happening now is with the downloads and the codings that we're getting, because we starseeds, indigos and such, like yourself and myself and others, we're getting these light codes. And we're like getting this information, and we are redistributing the energy.
That's right.
Fractal by fractal to those people that need this information, so that they can raise their level of awareness in terms of their DNA being activated.
Now
yes.
I was gonna say, let me back up, because you said some terms I want to make sure everybody understands.
Okay.
You said the term starseed, okay?
Right.
Let's get into what that term means to you, because I can't tell you, and you probably get this question a lot. People say, how do I know if I'm a starseed? Or I'm not sure if I'm a starseed. So what does that term mean to you, based on your experience? Well, how would you define starseed?
Well, I would define a starseed is one that has, number one, come to the awareness that there is, that there is a big process that's happening. And they just have a feeling that they're not really from here. Okay. And they have that real urge of empathy, of wanting to have a real strong desire of unconditional love, meaning that they become aware of it, and their main concern is, how do I know if I'm a starseed? Because I want to help everybody. Well, starseeds do help everybody, but they have to help themselves first.
Exactly.
So when you have that awareness that God is within you, that right there is a good indicator that you are starseed. Now, when I talk starseed, I'm talking about light workers, starseeds, and indigos. We're all one of the same, different aspects depending on who you're having a conversation with, because it's mission focused, and starseeds, and then we have to add in there old souls.
That's right.
Okay, and then we tag in with immortality, the concept of time and depth. So a starseed becomes aware of all of this stuff, and they want to know more.
That's right.
They
That's
want to know
right.
more. And once they get to that point, then they become aware of their intuitive self, their soul, their higher self. And they start to cognize that. They really start to understand a concept. Like, whoa, this is like, we got some stuff that's happening that's really, really good. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good place to be.
It is. It is. And so look, for me, the awareness of being a starseed was one factor, but then it moved to another component when I realized starseed was so directly connected to dimensions, the universe, planetary implications, like all that. Then the next thing became, do I have any connection as it relates to other planets? The starseed,
Right.
does that signify that we're aliens from different planets? You get people want to know. They're like, okay, if I'm a star seed, I'm not from here, and I'm from the stars. And then wait a minute, now you're changing my whole understanding now of what I believe to be true of who I am. Now you're trying to say I'm an alien from a planet, like, and what planet am I from? Like that's a huge undertaking when you're awakening, right?
Yes. Because everyone that's a star seed has Palladian DNA. That's number one, out the gate. That's without that, we wouldn't be here.
That's right.
Okay. And then also having the awareness that we chose to come here.
Yeah.
Okay. And once you realize that part of the awareness of being a starseed, that's raising your awareness and raising your consciousness.
Yeah.
And when you get to that aspect right there, everything else will start to meld. It'll start to make sense. You'll just know.
You will just know.
You'll just know.
Let me stop for a second. Lucy, I see you in the comments. I want to finish this thought, and then we're going to get to your questions in the comments section. So just hold on, because we got some questions coming through. So, okay. All right. So like, as we start to assimilate, we get into the whole awareness of our connection to, I like to say, the cosmos, because we don't think in our previous way of thinking and being beyond this earthly plane. But now we're going out and above and beyond, and just spreading our wings a little bit more. I brought this up because I remember doing our one-on-one session we had, and we talked about kind of some of your DNA and your connections, and kind of where you may kind of connect in this thing in terms of where you've been, where you've come from. And so again, I don't like to tell people who they are. I like to just guide you and give you a little bit, and you can take the ball and run with it and kind of see what resonates with you. And I know that you are learning all things Ascension, and you're giving us this information, but at the same time, you're still trying to learn you, which is indicative of all of us in our journey. We're trying to be on mission and purpose, do what we came to do, but at the same time, we came here to have our experience, right? Learn who we are and go through. So it becomes it becomes a lot, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so I shared with them before you came on how you do your chats every night, 7 days a week, pretty much, for hours on end, and you're teaching these concepts, right? And at the same time, learning and exploring who you are. Correct? Yeah. So do you feel as if now you have stepped into the beginning parts of your purpose? Are you feeling like what you're doing is resonating at this point? Because a lot of people are always like, what is my purpose? How do I know if I'm doing my purpose? Like, how do you feel in terms of living on purpose right now and fulfilling the mission you came here to do?
Being authentic and grounding. Because you have to set your boundaries of what you'll tolerate and what resonates and what doesn't resonate with you. I'm more focused on a 5D timeline the drama, hopium, and all that stuff, the 3D. I'm not there, but it's relevant in terms of keeping you focused to not get distracted, and because the vampires, if you will, if there's a slight crack, a little doubt, that ego is going to jump over there, and the next thing you know, you got all these mixed emotions coming through.
Yeah.
And you can lose focus.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
Yeah. So it's a challenge at times, but that's what we came here to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let me get Lucy's question before we lose it. Lucy says, I think she says, if we all of a sudden question our beliefs and lose faith in the things we live for, is that an indicator for a soul part that has left us? And I like Brooke's answer underneath. Brooke says, in my experience, that is part of the waking up and the ego death and the dark night of the soul. I agree, 100%, Brooke. That is actually, would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
That would not be a walk-in soul, Lucy. Literally, a walk-in soul doesn't have anything to do with, well, I'm not going to say anything. It's not primarily based on you losing your belief system and coming into an awareness that more exists here than what you think. That is actually an awakening. So the walk-in comes in and brings this cosmic awareness, this like ability to tap into this portal of information, awareness, and discernment and decipher, the ability to decipher information that is not readily accessible and easily interpreted by the average human. Is that a good way to put it?
Bingo.
Yeah,
yes.
that would be more of a walk-in.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jasani says, was every star seed of light invited by the Galactic Federation? What you think? We could both do it. What you think?
No, I don't think it was an invite. It was a choice one made.
Exactly.
Before incarnation in this timeline.
That's right.
Because we all come from the future. And pretty much we came from the future to help assist those that have a lower level of awareness and raising those people that are on the 3D timeline. We came back here to raise their frequency, help them raise their frequency and vibration, to help them understand who we really are in terms of humans.
That's right. And I was going to just piggyback on what you said. So the Galactic Federation didn't choose us. We volunteered. There were people, there were beings who volunteered to come during this time. So you asked every starseed of light invited. No invite, voluntary. Who wants to go? And so go ahead. You want to say so? I was going to say initially, nobody really wanted to come. Nobody wanted to come here. Everybody's like, I don't know. I'm good.
It's too crazy down there on Earth. They down there killing each other and stuff.
Right.
I don't want to go. Right. And we was I'll go.
Look, Hutch, I always tell people I came kicking and screaming. I'm like, I'd go, but this is my last time. So you volunteer. So that's why when you step into this, you really get on mission, because you go, ooh, wait a minute, I asked to come. So I'm supposed to be doing something, right?
Yeah. Now, another thing about starseeds, one of the aspects of we chose to come here to help the Galactic Federation because we are connected to them by way of quantum entanglement. Our consciousness is still connected. So we had to do the heavy lifting. We had to do the cleanup on aisle 17, if you will, by coming in and doing it from the inside. Because if the Galactic Federation had done it, that would have violated the universal law of non-interference. So we chose to come in here and incarnate and get the learning, the lessons and experiences, not lessons, but experiences of a human experience. Because we are in essence We are the Galactic Federation, but we just chose to embody, to have that spirit take on an avatar, a human.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we, you're gonna say something? Go ahead.
Go ahead. You're
okay.
good.
Now, when we start to put those pieces together, and that's when you start connecting the dots. Like, okay, something ain't right here. I feel like I want to go home. Home ain't here.
That's right.
A lot of people feel that.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? They pray. Who do you pray to? Now that's where people start to wake up, because they like, something ain't right with organized 501c3s. Something just don't fit right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it's like you get that aha moment, and then you just get you feel that love, you feel that emotion, you just feel that omnipresence, and
Yeah.
And everybody that's listening to this recording is either a light worker or starseed.
Absolutely. Let's distinguish between the two, because somebody's going to ask that. What's the difference
Okay.
between a light worker and a starseed?
Okay. In my opinion, a light worker is one that is exposing the light from the darkness, and more so, they know that they're a light being.
Mm-hmm.
They know that their DNA is something special about their DNA.
Yeah.
A starseed is on a mission,
mm-hmm.
a specific mission, a multitasking mission that has so many different intricate pieces to that, and have the wherewithal to know all this stuff and connect the dots. That's what a starseed does.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always, when I think of light workers, I think of just that. They hold the light. They come to hold the light. They ain't even got to do nothing. Just be present. Just stand there. Just hold the light. And so people get frustrated because they're like, I want to be doing something. I want to be, just do you and stay in your awareness and just be the light. Because now, I don't think, go ahead.
Now, on the another aspect about a light worker is they are stationed, they live exactly where they need to be. And most people live near an interstate or close to it, or a major highway, because those are the ley lines, and they're closer to the grids. Now, the light workers are the ones that live close to those areas in the grid that have been damaged throughout time because of what was happening in terms of the reverse rotation of Earth, if you will. It was counterclockwise. So the light workers are in locations so that when the clockwise motion starts to go, they are there to fill those gaps, like cement between bricks, in order to build the house.
Perfect. I like that, because guess where I live at? I live off the interstate. I just do. Somebody, and this is going to help with the next question. Somebody asked, how would you know the difference? Can you be a light worker and a starseed? Good question. I love that.
I believe so. Yes.
I love it. Of course you can. 100%. You absolutely positively can, because the two share the same common factor, the light, shining the light.
Right.
So you most definitely can be both. Somebody else says, how would you know how would you know difference? You just explained that. But for a lot of people, they want to know for themselves, am I a light worker or am I a starseed? So for me, I knew I was more closely connected to the starseed, because I was going through a kind of, not trial and error, but when you awaken, you try to figure out who you are, right? Try to figure out who you are, what your purpose is. Yeah, and you and I talked about, you even try to figure out what your title is. Like, what am I? What do I do? What am I offering,
Right,
right?
right,
And so
right.
as I was, exactly, as I was going through that, I kept saying, well, wait a minute. I can talk to beings beyond the veil. Okay, I must be a medium. Nah, that don't feel right. Then I'm like, oh, I can see things that are coming. I must be psychic. Nah, that title don't feel right. Then it was like, I can tap into other people's kind of journey, their soul's journey, where they are. Maybe. Then it was like, wait, I'm not just hearing spiritual beings for myself. I'm hearing spiritual beings for other people. Wait, I'm listening to their team, their spirit teams who are guiding them. Oh, I'm a messenger, like I'm a spiritual messenger. So then you go through this whole transformation, right? Who you
Yeah,
are, what you can do, what you're here for. That's kind of how you know you're a starseed, because you start doing stuff and you go, wait a minute, now this feels good. Like I feel like I'm supposed to be doing this. Like I got a spiritual job, so to speak. And I mean, you start stepping into, you came here to provide something to humanity.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Big time. Now,
for sure.
if I may, I'm gonna give a shout out to my chat because they're listening. Follow us on Telegram, Ascension 2023 chat. And we're live right now. We're simulcasting. So yeah,
Yay.
they're there. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the members here, Brooke and Q. They yeah, they're tapped in, turned
Yeah,
in, and turned up.
I
I ain't
love
quite
that
getting
group.
how you say it, but you got it down pat.
Yeah, but look, I love your group. I love the energy in
And
that
we love
group.
you too. Absolutely.
And so it feels good to turn the tables tonight, to put you in the seat and make you have to answer all the questions. But I had no doubt
I
they
don't
would
mind.
show up and show out. That's what they do. Wait, here's another question. So Brooke is one of yours too, right? Is Brooke in your group?
I believe so. Yeah. That
Um,
avatar looks familiar.
okay, so she says, as a star seed, you have such a resonance with the galactic family and interdimensional frequency. Oh, okay. So that was just the comment. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
Now, on in that regards, frequency and vibration. People that are just becoming aware of light workers, star seeds, and indigos, I will refer to the indigos are our children and our grandchildren. Mm-hmm. Because they're born, some of them are already come in here with 6, 7 strands of DNA already activated. Already activated.
For sure.
Okay. And most of us light workers and starseed, our DNA, our 6th strand, 5th strand, 4th strand is a done deal. That's been done. But our 5th and 6th strand of DNA is like what's really kicking in now for a lot of people. And it's a process because it has to be done gradually.
Yeah, it does.
And, yeah, especially the light workers. A lot of them feels like, man, I don't feel like I'm doing anything. What is it that I need to do? Nothing.
Right.
Just keep your frequency and your vibration as high as possible to the best of your ability.
That's it.
You know?
That's it. And I always feel like that too. God, they don't even know they're holding the light. Like you could feel the light off of some of them. Like you could just be around them and know, okay, you ain't got to do nothing but just stand next to me. I just told you that today. I'm like, I'm so grateful for beings coming into my presence now that keep me up, my vibration up.
Same here. Yeah,
because it gets hard out here. It gets hard out here for spiritual beings trying to do some work. Or to be of service, I should say, to be of service to this planet.
Yeah,
for sure. So somebody says, what are the planets you can see in the sky? Oh, child, you're getting into some astrology and all of that good stuff. I can't name like all the planets you can see from the sky. I don't know. I can't. Do you know, Hutch?
It's more than what people think.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
don't.
550 trillion planets.
Yeah.
So
I want to tell a lot of people who are on this right now that when you start to question or seek information. Okay, that's your soul going, okay, here we are. This is the point where we're at now. Now let's start learning and getting into this. Anytime you say, oh, I just happened to read about Pleiadians Monday, or, oh, I just happened to read about, so you never just happen to do anything. Never,
Right.
ever, 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 ever. This is all one big classroom with prepared lessons and situations and time frames and of when things are going to kick in and activate. And you're constantly on the grid learning and getting information.
Absolutely.
So never second guess what's happening in your experience. It's being presented to you that
Right.
way on purpose.
Right. Yeah. Because and I think you had mentioned this in one of your other lives, is that we put triggers at different times in this current incarnation to awaken certain aspects that need to be awakened at that particular time. So what I mean is that one can't all of a sudden just get all this information. They would fizzle out.
Yeah.
They couldn't handle it. So we put triggers like time capsules at different stages of our life, different encounters that we may have, because nothing is a coincidence. Everything that happens in your life changes your timeline. For example, you get up in the morning, you get out of your bed, and you go to the bathroom. You just change your timeline because you could have went to the kitchen. And you go to the bathroom, you flick the light switch on, or you don't flick the light switch. You change your timeline. We're constantly changing our timeline. And then we have those deja vu moments. They're not deja vu moments. They are an experience that one has in a parallel time or in a future time. Because the past, the present, and the future exists now. And everything that we do determines what path you're going to take. And what path you take determines how you're going to stay on your timeline.
That's right. That's right. I agree 100%.
Okay.
I think when we do the concept of timelines, we usually think of them linearly.
Right.
You know, like, because that's how we live it here we've been living it here on this planet. And so when you can sit in a room at your desk and you can like literally sit in your desk and be in the fifth dimension, but your planet here in this dense energy, you go, how did I do that? Or how's that possible? Or
right.
How am I in multiple dimensions at one time? That concept alone is big for a lot of people right now stepping into it. It's something our human minds in previous energies couldn't, just make light of it all. So it's good to see people using terms like that now, multidimensional and frequency and vibration and, things like that, because now it's becoming a little more, I don't want to say common. It's not common, but we're at least in the, more acceptable. There you go. It's more acceptable now, I would say. So look, let me ask you, somebody says, can we talk about timeline a bit more? Let me ask you something else as it relates to the walk-in concept. So, because walk-ins are all around us. People, look at that moth. People don't realize
I thought that was an orb.
Huh?
I thought that was an orb.
Oh, people don't realize that I talk a lot about walk-ins. I talk a lot about shape shifting. I talk a little bit about how these beings from other planets are here with us now and assisting and guiding and helping us. And I'm glad that you cleared up something as it relates to the Galactic Federation, because some people look at that as like Star Trek, like, woo, like they're the ones who, well, they are kind of not the rule makers, but they're kind of overseeing things and looking and seeing how things are going and taking notes and doing all of that. But the way you explained it as we're all a part of it, we're all a part of the Federation. It's not like it's a hierarchy kind of
Right.
sort of speak. So I think that was some new kind of information or insight into the Galactic Federation that I've never heard before.
Okay. I'd like to add something on that too.
Yeah.
Now, when at a certain point, particularly right around 9/11, the Galactic Federation had did some stuff that was protecting Earth because of what the reptilians and the Dracos were doing at that particular time. And they pretty much declared war, open war on Earth. They were going to show up in force. Well, I'm talking about their ships. So the Galactic Federation, they put up like a frequency fence that did not allow them to come into our universe. And if they did, they were channeled through a wormhole to specific areas. And it was a containment move by the Galactic Federation. So our pineal glands, once we rose our frequency and vibration to a certain accretion level, our pineal glands became active. They were never calcified, but our pineal glands became active because our level of awareness activated our pineal glands. And we sent out a distress signal. And the Galactic Federation, they responded to that because they had been kind of kicked back at a safe distance to allow us to evolve the way that we have been evolving. Now, at some point, they decided that, hey, it's time for us to make another power move. Because the Dracons, if you will, the reptilians, the malevolent beings, they had it up to destroy this planet and all things on this planet. In the Galactic Federation, it's like the outer perimeter in terms of our protective field, our protective army, because they see things in a multidimensional level where we don't see in this linear 3D Earth. And the work that they have been doing was saving us and helping us at the same time. Now, our pineal glands are transmitters and receivers. We have all, by way of academia, been tricked into thinking that our pineal gland was calcified. It was not. It wasn't calcified.
Mm-hmm.
We just manifested calcification because of what they have been telling us.
Well, and look, and we know what they've been telling us because you talk about third eye activation and people go, that's witchcraft, that's demonic, that's, you fear what you don't know. And most people don't have any, well, I'm not gonna say any, because now we're getting more enlightened. But before you couldn't mention anything about a third eye or a pineal gland. No, absolutely not.
They be looking like.
And you know what? I think about it. I go, oh, they set that system up so good. They had it all together, didn't they? They had us really where they wanted us, really where they wanted us to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, I'm looking. We had a couple of questions about the timeline. So it's so much to cover. Like we're covering all kinds of stuff as it relates to ascension, awareness, you're stepping into the being a walk-in. I just wanted to share with the people watching the information that he just gave you. That's an example of what I'm talking about, like cosmic awareness. You might say, well, he could have read that, like anybody could find that or read it. But let's just say, for the sake of saying, he did get that knowledge through research. You got to be guided to it, so to speak. Do you understand that? Just understand it's not a matter of, oh, let me go look up a book on this and read about that. Because the information is not, in most situations, most instances, as clearly laid out and put in easy to interpret words and information so that can be readily translated by us as humans.
Right.
And so look, I'm going to go back to little Christianity a little bit,
Okay.
where I remember being told, when you read the Bible, you got to read it in the spirit. That's what they used to say. You got to read it in the spirit. I used to be like, what that mean? Read it in the spirit. And so as I'm where I am now, I understand now, when you look at that book, I mean, no two people have the same interpretation.
Those with the eyes to see and the ears to hear.
All right. And I'm like, we're reading it with our inner spirit. Now, sure, in Christianity, that ain't what they was talking about. They ain't mean like that. But now that I interpreted it, I am at where I am in my journey. I understand that we all will interpret information differently based on our experience. And so part of your walk-in experience has allowed you, if I will say, a direct connection to kind of how to connect this information, so that you can present it in a way that it is relatable, it resonates, and that it makes sense to the masses. Let's see what they said. I'm going through the quick, let's say quickening time. Time is going super fast. Can you talk about that? So she wants us to talk about the way it feels like time is speeding up. Well, I was just going to say it feels like it's speeding up because we're not in time anymore. Like, we're not abiding by the concept of time. So it feels like it's speeding up because we're not in that framework anymore. Like, would you say that, Hutch?
The 3D timeline?
Well, she says it feels like time in general is speeding up. And I think she means like, oh my God, it's 8 o'clock already, or oh my goodness, it's Thursday, or oh my goodness, it's like that kind of time. I think she means.
What's happening in regards to the feeling that time is speeding up is because the timelines are merging. In the fifth dimension, there is no time. Everything is in the now. So being that the timelines are converging into this timeline, and that's the parallel universe, which is electric, antiparticle, is merging with the particle universe, is where we are in this time matrix. And our consciousness and our Akashic record is merging. And when we have these certain kind of feelings and such that come out of nowhere, it's being cleansed, it's being removed, because it can't go to the fifth dimension. It's got to stay here in the third dimension. That's part of awareness. That's part of a light worker, a starseed, an indigo. That is the process to get you to where you need to stay and to get you to where you are going, which is in the now. So being in the now in terms of linear time, if one were to, for example, you're driving and there's a car B is zigzagging in and out of traffic, and you get to the same stoplight. They change their timelines every time they change lanes, but you stayed on your timeline, and you end up getting to the same stoplight. But that zigzagger has only he's locked into time because he's in a rush to get somewhere.
That's
We're
right.
not, because the universal law of attraction is going to put time things in your path to keep you on the right timeline. So time is of no relevance to us anymore, unless you so choose to abide by time. So if you just forget about, don't worry about, I got to be somewhere at such time. Okay, you use that as a marker. At high noon, you want to be at this place at high noon. And when you get to the point where you're not worrying about, oh, I'm gonna be late, you're gonna get there early, because the law of attraction is going to ensure that nothing prevents you from staying on the probable timeline that's in your best interest.
Yeah. I think too, when you become so consciously aware of timelines and how you can manipulate them, you start literally speaking your timelines literally into existence. I'm finding myself doing it so much. I just told you this the other day. I said, I got to keep actively kind of doing something as it relates to my journey, something different, or I'm going to feel like I'm stagnant. So I'm literally every day going, got to do something different, got to change it up. Let me try to go live tonight with a guest, never done that before, but I got to change it up. You got to spice it up. You're going to start playing with your timelines, playing with your experiences, manipulating energy so that it starts to move in the direction you want it to go in. We are in charge of it. We are literally.
Yeah.
We have come out of the cocoon of believing that, oh, and I hate to say this because somebody probably still believes it, that we are being led by the benevolent. We have no control, no say so, and nothing. We can't participate. It's just, oh, I shouldn't do that.
We're being led by our higher self.
Yeah, and that's what we're being led by.
Yeah.
But I think we understood that higher self concept to be out, like you said, outside of us and out of our control. That was it.
Right. Yeah.
So now we're realizing we control a little bit of this stuff, even if we gotta understand it from the very basics of energy. We're manipulating energy.
Excuse me here.
Oh, we got you hot, right? We got you sweating.
I got some benevolence. What's up?
But I see Rob. Okay, greetings to you too. So let me get some questions from you guys. I'm going to stop for a second and get some questions because Hutch and I have been talking for about an hour. And I've been filtering in little questions, but now's the time. If you have some questions, you guys come on and give them to us.
Okay,
So that we
I'm
can
gonna step off screen for a moment.
Okay, all right, we'll do. So go ahead, you guys, and put your questions in, and let's filter them on in because I know you guys are wanting to get some of your information clarified. We're talking tonight about, we started out with the concept of walk-in souls, but we've kind of gone out and beyond that. And so I don't know, for those of you who are on this chat, who are in Hutch's chat group on Telegram, I don't know how many of you even were aware that he was a walk-in. He mentions it, but he doesn't mention it. Just because, it's something that we as a collective are stepping into, just like we're all starting to step into our alien DNA. We got a lot of people who are saying, hey, I'm Pleiadian. Hey, I'm Arcturian. Hey, I'm Syrian. Hey, I'm from the Orion's belt. Like, people are starting to feel more comfortable talking about their DNA and where they believe and feel that they are connected to. And so it's no different with people who are walk-ins or different types of star seeds. He's talking a lot about indigo star seeds, but we got crystal star seeds, we got rainbow star seeds, we got a whole lot of different waves of star seeds who are coming in. And as a lot of people step into their awareness, you're going to start to step into the understanding of the different roles of all the different groups. And once you get that, you're going to be able to literally single them out from a crowd. You'll know these beings. I get quite a lot of pleasure in determining or figuring out or tapping into where different beings are from galactically, different human beings. It's always fun for me. Oh, Robin, you came to the party late. You said, how do you know if you're a walk-in? Oh, well, we'll have to kind of go backwards for that one. We covered that kind of in the beginning when we talked a little bit about how walk-ins are able to tap into a cosmic awareness that is just not readily available from your human essence and types of beings. Walk-ins usually come, you usually, from the way Hutch described it and the way others that I know who are walk-ins have described it, you literally can tell that you're a different being, so to speak, meaning you feel differently, like you see and experience things differently, you think differently, like everything about you has changed from the way it was prior to this walk-in experience. And it's usually preceded before. It usually happens as a result of personal problems of the soul that is departing, or because of an accident or trauma that happens to the soul that is leaving. So right before that soul exits the body, it's usually something traumatic that happens, or usually some type of accident, or some type of experience, emotional experience that is heavy. And that's kind of like the soul's way of exiting, of saying, okay, this is it. I'm done. Like, I can't do no more. This is all for me. I'm out. Tag, you it. And then the new soul comes in.
Deuces.
Yeah, deuces. And so I was said in the beginning, a lot of people have near-death experiences. It's those people who go on the ventilator, or they have a heart attack briefly and they're revived, or you have an accident or something and you're unconscious. That's enough time for walk-in to come in and swap. It doesn't take long. It takes but a couple of seconds to swap out these souls. Yeah. So usually after that, you'll notice a change in the person. I think Hutch had some feedback from people who knew him and said, hey, wait a minute, you a little different. Like, you talking different. It's a noticeable difference to those who knew the original soul.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps to let you know about the walk-in. Jasani says, my guides seem to not want me to know where my original DNA is from. What do you mean they don't want you to know? How do you know they don't want you to know, Jasani? Like, did they tell you you can't know that? let me say this. If you are seeking that information, then you are not seeking it without guidance to seek it. And so the fact that you don't have it yet means you're not ready to have it yet. You're getting there. You're working towards receiving that information. I'm going to use Hutch as an example. So he had his walk-in experience, I'm going to say almost 2 years before we came in contact, and he kind of came into the enlightenment of being a walk-in. Well, he wasn't ready to know he was a walk-in 2 years ago. You see what I'm saying? He may have said, oh, I feel different. Oh, something's, not right. Oh, he had to go through some experiences first, like preliminary experiences that would prepare him for that moment when he was to find out that information. So it will resonate and make sense and fit in the big scheme of things.
Because I would have people, when I was having chat before I became aware, people were like, man, how do you know this? And I'd be like, I don't know. I'm just guided to it, But now, being that I'm more aware of it now, I'm like, I can go real deep with it now. And it's like, I like it, I'm like, I'll be looking forward to it. I'm like, okay, you see what my guys got for me today, but when you kind of like broke it down to me and the way that you did, and when you mentioned Arcturian, that's when it really clicked. When you gave me the background on Arcturian, whoo, boy, that was like ding, 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 ding. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Very technical, very technologically oriented. You're all into that kind of stuff. You get excited when you discover something new that helps make your life easier, that's related to technology and can assist you in getting the information out. And, you're led to it, literally.
Yeah.
I'm not led to none of that, because that ain't what I know. That ain't my origin. I'm not all into the technology. I know that part.
but Dr. Dawn, like I was you might have thought I was joking, but we need to take this thing on the road, and because there's an awareness out there that people need to know this information, and because it's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot, and we don't have a whole lot of time to get it done.
Well, we don't, and things are going to be moving quickly. Somebody asked me, or asked in the chat, will we be exposed to aliens and other beings soon? Let me let you in on a little secret. So that's part of what this whole thing is about. We're preparing for contact. We're literally preparing for contact. They cannot interact, communicate, show themselves, come on down, be our buddies if we're not operating at a certain place of being and awareness. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
So if I'm giving a spoiler alert, it may be a spoiler alert for some of you, because somebody gonna go, what? That's literally where we are now. We're getting ready for that contact. We're getting prepared.
Yeah.
And
Because of the programming that we have been exposed to our entire existence was to have us fear any kind of extraterrestrial. But when you tell a person, you're an ET too, they look at you like you got 20 heads. What do you mean? I'm not an ET. Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You're not
yeah,
from
you
here.
are.
We're not from here. And then when you tell them how many times they've been here, incarnations, woo, on average, about maybe 1,700 times on the low end.
That's right.
Everybody, about 1,700 times, and have been all races, all genders. And the gender that we are now is the one that we're most comfortable with.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see what they're talking about over in the chat. Kamarcus says, I've been dreaming every night for almost a month and remembering them for the most part. I think he's talking about aliens. He says, what does this mean? It means exactly what it is. You're having remembrances. You are activating your memories. You're tapping into your soul's journey and awareness. That's what it means.
I like to liken it to getting training, necessary training, counseling, and so forth, to prepare, like you said, to prepare one for what's about to come. And it's good.
It is.
It's really good.
Because people think, even if you are light workers or star seeds, if a being came into my presence right now, my physical presence that didn't look like me, that looked somewhat different and somewhat not related to something in my current experience or anything I could pull up, I'd be afraid. I would. As much as I communicate with beings beyond the veil, they're not here in front of, they're not here in my physical reality. And so they know that. They know, like, okay, they getting better. Okay, well, they're getting good. They're not quite there yet, but they're open, they're receiving, they're communicating. Okay, we're making progress.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
Yep, people are saying they've been here many times. Okay, so look, we could go on and on all night. We just could. I know we could. I know you could, Hutch. This is what you do.
I'm gonna leave here, and I'm going to going into my chat when I leave here.
Of course you are. Of course you are. And we're gonna give. I'm gonna actually, when we get off here, I'm gonna put the information, down below as it relates to your chat. But I'm gonna tell everybody again. He is on Telegram. It's an app, right? Or you download it. You can download Telegram, and you have to. He's under Ascension 2023, right? The chat.
Ascension 2023 chat.
Chat. Oh, Ascension 2023 chat. Make sure you click on that to get into his group. You will love it. What we're doing tonight is what they do every night. Like, they do it every night. I don't think they don't care what day it is. If it's a holiday, they don't acknowledge that. They keep it going with the spiritual awareness and energy that is here right now. And so that's why I have to look out for my buddy Hutch, because I got to remind him, I understand you on mission, but we got to keep that human avatar, in good shape.
Right. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Brooke says your galactic family has begun to contact you during your sleep time and dreams. Brooke is a wealth of information and knowledge. Thank you, Brooke. That's absolutely correct. They can usually tap into you in your sleep state.
That's the best time to get to contact you.
And if you want to, set your intention before you go to bed that you want to talk to them and communicate. They'll do it.
Yeah.
They'll come.
Yeah.
You just say the word. Okay, so somebody, I think this is for you, Hutch, says, you said that we're going to be shifting quicker than we do now, and we're not going to be aware of it, or our reality could feel like it stopped on, that's me, on Cash's Live a while ago. I don't know if you remember. I think I said that. I think I remember saying that. And so it's kind of like what we talked about a few minutes ago. He's talking about how, the timelines are merging now. And so that merging is causing the shift to be quicker. Right. And so as it keeps merging, we're going to keep shifting quicker. Like your
Yep.
abilities are going to get heightened. Your awareness is going to get heightened. And
Yep.
then you said, I mentioned not being aware of it, or reality could feel like it stopped. Sometimes it will, because you'll be in a state of sometimes confusion, because you'll be like, wait, I know I get it all the time. I don't know if something happened or if I was somewhere else when it happened. I'm usually always asking my husband, did I tell you this morning about XYZ? And he'll go, no. And I'm like, I thought I did, but I did in another dimension. I said it,
Right.
So that's what I mean by you're not going to be, you're going to be doing it so much that it's going to start to get a little, confusing sometimes.
Until you get used to it, it's going to feel strange. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Even if you don't remember or know what the dreams were about, on for trust that you're getting love and invitation. All is well. Excellent.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the link on the down in the comments.
Yeah,
so
go
that
ahead,
way,
because that's great. Thank you, because Jasani just asked. That's okay, Jasani. He's gonna put the link, so that should work for you. Perfect. I hope you guys are enjoying this
There it
chat.
is.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. Did you put it? Because I don't see it on my end.
Yeah, it'll populate in a second, in a moment.
Okay. All right. Beings will be in and out of Earth, so we'll feel like reality is paused and they replay. I think I just answered it, Corinne. I think I did. I think maybe the way you understood it was maybe other beings would be in and out, but the beings I was speaking of was us that would be shifting in and out of the dimensions, human beings, not outside beings, if that clarifies it for you. Okay, so let's see, Hutch, anything else you would like to add to this conversation? Because I'm going to wind this up and wind it down and, let you get to your chat, let these people take this information in. What else would you like to share? Final thoughts or information?
The 3 days of darkness, that's approaching, and people need to be aware of it and just listen to your guides, because they're going to give you information in regards to what you need to do. And it's important that you pay attention and not think that you're hearing things. No. You're going to be dealing with benevolent beings. Those are the good guys. So I just put a Rumble video up the other day about the 3 days of darkness, which is really, really important. But other than that, thank you for allowing me to come on here with you for the first time. I enjoyed it, and go ahead.
Well, I was going to say my apologies to you and the people who will be watching this on replay and in the chat. You guys, look, this was my first go round with this. Just let me get my hands wet with this, going live and bringing on my guests. I know how to go live. It's just bringing on guests. That was a little tricky for me, but I think I ironed out most of the kinks tonight with you guys as my guinea pigs.
I got the perfect solution for that the next time.
Okay.
It's going to blow everybody away.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hutch is going to sign off and go on his chat. He has, I still don't see your stuff. I hope, can you guys see his information on Telegram before he goes? Because I want you guys, you may want to just sign off of this and just go on to Telegram and see what he's talking about tonight. I don't know if are you talking about the 3 days, or we don't know what you're doing over there tonight.
We're going to talk about it again,
right?
Because I did a video on it last night.
Okay.
And there was a lot of questions that were asked in that regards. The big thing is paralysis. Everybody is going to be experience a state of paralysis. Everybody.
Good
the
to
dogs,
know.
the pets too.
Y'all hear that? He said even the pets, because see, when it happens, here we go. The devil, they're going to be talking about the devil is demonic and the low vibrational spirits are getting us, and you know how it's going to be. You know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's all over with.
All right.
No worries.
That's how we usually interpret. That's how the collective usually gets it. But we are going to we'll have to do this again. We will, because we got
Oh,
so
yeah.
much more we could talk about, so much more. And
Oh, yeah.
you guys, like I said, get over to Hutch. I'll be over there at some point to visit these Ascension 2023,
You're always welcome.
because I'm
always
always loving you guys. So for those of you watching the replay, make sure that you look down in the comments, because I'm going to add his information again in case it gets lost off of this chat, which I'm thinking it will. You guys come back and join me next Monday night, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Mystical Monday, where we cover and talk about all things mystical, the things that people are afraid to, don't want to, or just step away from talking about as it relates to spirituality. Okay, so I'm Dr.
All right.
Dawn. You guys visit my website, www.discoveringyourinnerlight.com. Until next time, take care. And if you like this video, please make sure you like it, subscribe it, leave me some comments and feedback. All right, good night.
Good night.
Thanks,
Namaste.
Hutch.